What's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Midnight Mike. I'm joined by Dre here, big-time 49er fan, member of the DreArea Sports Show. And today we're going to be talking about the Niners' loss to the Minnesota Vikings. But we do have some things we're going to break down about that game. But we're also going to talk about the game that was tonight, which was the Eagles against the Atlanta Falcons, and the fucking Eagles just completely coughed this one up.
Oh, big time, buddy. Big time. Right at the end. 40 seconds, Kirk Cousins down the field. In that prevent defense, Nick Sirianni totally fucked that one up. That's all.
What's up, Sean? Yeah, Sirianni fucking coughed that shit up hella hard.
Mm-hmm. He's going to get all the criticism.
He deserves it. After what he pulled off, that was ridiculous. So before we get to all that, I just want to say a big shout out to the sponsors of the show. Our first sponsor is PowerBrandSystems. If you need a website built for your small business, your YouTube channel, your social media account, then check out PowerBrandSystems. They have a platform as well that will centralize all your reviews from Google and Facebook and help you generate more leads and more revenue for your small business. Use promo code POWER and save up to $300 when making your first purchase of PowerBrandSystems. Use the referral link in the description below to make that purchase. Believe me, it's worth it. And how do I know? Because check out Nicotina.net. That's the home website for all three of my channels, including DreArea Sports, and they're the ones who designed that. So definitely check that out. It's definitely worth your time. And also, this video or this stream is brought to you by SEATGEEK. Use promo code DreArea Sports to save up to $20 on your first purchase over at SeatGeek.com. So definitely check that out. I'm loving SeatGeek. And we got Daniel here. Let's fucking go! I know. I wish it was going to be on a happier tone, but we're going to make the best of it. You know, we really are. But before we get to anything else, before we get to the Niner game, let's talk about the teams that played today, which was the Falcons and the Eagles. And we got some breaking news. Okay, so here we go. Kirk Cousins and the fucking Atlanta Falcons went into Philadelphia, okay? And they pulled off a shocker, winning by a final score of 22-21. This game should have been over.
Yeah.
The Eagles had this game wrapped up. And for some reason, they allowed the Falcons to stick around. They were third and short over in the red zone. And when you get that close, it's like, why not just kneel down and drown out the fucking time and then either run the ball or just take a knee and then kick the field goal, but leave them with no time.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. They threw a pass, which, look, in all intents and purposes, Saquon Barkley needs to catch that ball. For the money he's making and the talent that he is, he's got to make that catch. And he didn't. He dropped the ball, which stopped the clock. They kicked the field goal. They left them with, let me see, does it say it on here? But they left them with over like a minute and a half of time left. It was like 1 minute and 50 seconds, I want to say. There was so much time.
Yeah.
And I really couldn't understand that. I was like, Nick Sirianni is a fucking idiot. Why would you do that? Why would you give them time? Did you watch this game at all, Dre?
Yeah, especially at the very end, too. Exactly what you're talking about. It kind of, it's just very shocking, the result for one, but the overall decision. I mean, you got to bleed the clock. If anything, the time is against the Falcons at this point. All you got to do is basically kneel it, like you said. Give it to Saquon, let Jalen run it out. I mean, whatever you have to do, keep the ball in somebody's hands. Don't throw that ball. And what do? And it cost them the game. So
it cost him the game.
This is completely on the head coach. I mean, if he's the one responsible for these play calls with the offensive coordinator, they're not on the same page. I mean, ultimately that falls on the head coach.
It absolutely does. I mean, look, you say what you want about Kyle Shanahan, and I'm going to say some shit about Kyle Shanahan in a little bit when we get to the Niner game, but this is a joke. I mean, even Kyle Shanahan would have ran the clock down and left them with almost no time. to try and drive that ball. And not only that, but then when the Falcons got the ball back, they literally drove down the field like it was nothing. You had receivers that were wide ass open. It was like, holy shit, are you guys going to actually cover anybody?
Yeah, they dropped back into zone that whole drive, and there were just holes in between the linebackers and the secondary, and they were just picking them apart on the outside the hash marks. A couple of really good throws by Kirk Cousins, and give the offensive line credit. He had a lot of time to throw. Obviously, I think they weren't sending too much pressure as they were in that what was looking like a prevent defense, preventing them to win.
Yeah, it prevented them to win. It was ridiculous. I didn't understand the play climb of those guys. What's up, Venom? Good to see you, buddy. I didn't understand the play calling. It was ridiculous. I mean, this, like you said, it falls on the head coach. He's got to be better. He's got to do a better job at controlling the game, controlling the clock, and he just didn't do that. It was just pathetic to see. And I think I honestly believe that Nick Sirianni is completely overrated as a head coach, and I hope he gets fired this year once and for all. The guy annoys me. He's so fucking smug, and it's just so annoying. And the antics he pulls on the sidelines, and all the the fucking dancing and she nodding his head, and it's just kind of like, man, be a fucking leader, be an adult, and just be a head coach. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he's kind of really awkward on the sidelines, if you ask me.
He's got that fucking guy, Big Dom, running around. Like, come on, man.
Another joke, just another publicity stunt.
Well, and they're like, oh, well, he needs Big Dom to help calm him down. Like, if you need a big fucking fat Italian dude to calm you down, then you got bigger problems, dude. Maybe he shouldn't be a head coach. It's ridiculous. But they cost him the game.
He's worried about the crowd and the sidelines turning on him. That's why he needs a bodyguard out there.
Well, and then, like, if you watch that last drive, it took them, like, I don't know, probably like 4 plays. It felt like 4 plays to get all the way down the field. Big chunk yardage. Like, there were guys wide open. I was like, what are you guys doing? And then not only that, but then in that final play, what's his name? Darius Slay Jr. got totally fucking juked. And let that guy go wide open. He's on your fantasy team?
Yeah, he's Drake London. He's on my fantasy team. Yeah, that was. I mean, I don't know what he was looking at, biting the inside move from the interior wide receiver. Completely took his eye off Drake London. That was an easy touchdown.
Yeah, no, dude, it was really, really bad. I was like, holy shit, really?
Terrible position.
And he knew it. The moment they let that ball go, he was like, oh, shit. Like, I just fucked this game over. Damn.
Whatever that was.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. Okay, so before we get to... So, as we said, the Eagles fucking coughed that game up, and they lose 22-21 at home Monday night. That's ridiculous. That cannot happen if you're the Eagles.
No.
You were setting yourself up for a week 2 matchup with 2-0 teams. Because next week, they got the Saints. And now they're 1-1. With a chance of going 1-2, you're going against one of the hottest teams in the league right now in the New Orleans Saints. So, dude, this game was just shows you how stupid Nick Sirianni really is. I was like, dude, this guy needs to go. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking.
Hot seat already. Yeah, hot seat already. And keep in mind, last season, they didn't end very well. I want to say they had like a 5-7 game where they kind of lost in the same fashion as they did tonight. Kind of towards the end, have games well in hand midway, and then just all of a sudden just fumbling it towards the end. So even with Saquon in the backfield, that still wasn't even enough to keep this game from getting out of hand, which it did at the very end.
Yeah, dude. If you look at it in the past, in his last 11 games, Jalen Hurts is 2-9. 2-9.
That's eye-opening.
It is. GR Meadow says, rigged NFL. Yeah, especially if you're playing against the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, that's 23 for 30, a $183, a touchdown and an interception. Did he even I don't even know how much did he rush for a decent amount of yards.
He rushed for he rushed for 85 yards.
Yeah. Okay.
So he had a lot of rushes. I mean, the guy is talented. Don't get me wrong, but I mean,
prototypical quarterback.
But to put him even ahead of Brock Purdy, I wouldn't do that. I think Brock is better.
Mm-hmm. It's more accurate with the ball.
Yeah, he's way more accurate with the ball. I mean, he had some passes that were just absolute dimes on Sunday.
Yeah, great anticipation. A couple of them obviously got away or held on to the ball a little bit too long. I know we'll get into that, but
and maybe this is a thing when it comes to Alabama quarterbacks, because we got something to talk about here. But before we get to that, let's drop to some or let's break for some breaking news. Here we go. Andy Dalton has been named the starter for the Carolina Panthers. Their new head coach,
the Red Rocket, good and blue.
The Red Rocket. This is the definition of red, white, and blue right here.
Oh, no, there you go.
So Steve Canales, their new head coach, says that because of the way the season is going, they don't want to let this season get away from them. So they made the change of benching Bryce Young for Andy Dalton. Like, are you fucking kidding me? At this point, you might as well let Bryce Young stay out there and just fucking deal with it. You know what I mean? It makes zero fucking sense. I was like, man, why would you do that to your number one draft pick quarterback? Look, the guy has talent, Bryce Young. I've seen him make some really good plays in his career. However, he's made a lot of really bad plays, but really, that team sucks.
Yeah, it starts at the top. A lot of decisions that are being made directly from the top.
What's up, Niner for life?
I mean, it's already looking like this draft pick is already a bust. So, I mean, what are you doing to the kid's confidence when you're taking him out this early? I mean, you're basically saying that you made the mistake by drafting him. I can't remember how much they gave up for him, but I think there was a meme that came out about that trade offer, and
you know,
Carolina Panthers obviously got the raw end of that deal, at least at this point where we're standing right now.
Let me see. Daniel posted that. Yeah, he posted that on the website. Let me pull that up real quick. But before we get to that, man, dude, check this out. It's all bad. Check this out. So not only is old ass Andy Dalton starting for the really bad, really shitty Carolina Panthers, but when you look at how the other quarterbacks kind of shake out when it comes to Alabama quarterbacks, you got what's his name from the Patriots when he's not there anymore.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah.
He's a backup. I forgot his fucking name. I'm blanking on that shit. Jalen Hurts, like I said, his last 11 games, he's 2-9. Mm-hmm. Probably the best of the four. Bryce Young, benched. Tua Tagovailoa, CTE. Oh, poor guy. Poor guy. But even, Tua, when he was healthy, he still made a lot of bad reads. And look, I think what we get to here, Mac Jones, there we go. I think what we're getting at here is that these Alabama quarterbacks were good because their fucking team was hella good. Now, do they have talent? Yeah, they do. But the trend of Alabama quarterbacks is looking too good.
Yeah.
Not looking too good. And let's not forget about Cecil Cooper. I believe that was his name, Cooper. He was another quarterback that came out. He's not even in the league anymore. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you don't have these four Alabama quarterbacks have not really panned out all that well in the NFL. I think Bryce Young can still pull it off. But, man, the guy's too small. He's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
He makes me nervous running out there. I'm like, come on, man. What the hell?
Yeah, at a certain point, you can't keep using the offensive line as an excuse. You got to go out there and make plays. And this guy continues to make negative plays, interceptions, turnovers, just
exactly.
J.R. Meadows and inaccurate too, very inaccurate.
Very inaccurate. J.R. Meadows writes Brock Purdy is better than them all. Yes, absolutely. He's absolutely better than all of them. I would take him over all of them.
I agree with that
because he's proven more. He's proven a lot more. And then we go to this one here. This is just funny. I just had to pull this one up. Okay, so this is Giants fans seeing Bryce Young get benched after only 18 games while heading into the 65th of Daniel Jones. just pure pain. That's all it is. It's just pure pain. Agony. Absolute agony. And speaking of Jalen Hurts, I mean, look, this is the best part. Philly fans talk a lot of shit, so it's always fun to make fun of Philly fans. He says, week 2 hate watch successful. Niners lost to the Vikings, and the Cowboys lost to the Saints, right? And he's like, yeah, we did it. And then 49ers throwback, who's a really good guy, great account. He's like, what happened? Your QB choked. Intercepted! And that's the other thing, too. This Jalen Hurts throws an interception. He's got, let's go back to the beginning of that play. He has one timeout. All he has to get to is another 15 yards. 15 yards to get his his kicker into field goal range.
Yeah.
And what does he do? Instead of looking for the short pass or just to move the sticks, you still got one more timeout. You take a shot in the middle of the field or a quick out. No, what does he do? He fucking drops back under pressure, right? I mean, I would have threw it right there. Something, You know what I mean?
Hurts gets hit as he throws
and picked.
Yeah.
And that's your franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Steve-O, you're so harsh, dude. Throwback is mid. That's one thing about Steve-O. He will not hold back his opinion. I love that about the guy.
Let him have it.
Niner for Life writes, Hurts is wildly overrated, just as Dak is. That's a good question to think about. Who would you rather have? Would you rather have Jalen Hurts or Dak Prescott?
That's a thinker.
Everyone in the chat is watching right now.
Either one of them.
I don't want either one of them, but everyone in the chat, who would you rather have? Jalen Hurts or Dak Prescott? If you had to choose one of them for your team, who would you pick? I think between the two of those, oh God. Maybe I'd probably take Jalen Hurts because he's a better runner.
Well, that and he's been to a Super Bowl.
He's been to a Super Bowl. Exactly. JR says Hurts. Yeah. Steve-O writes fantasy Hurts. Yeah, no, it's like the lesser of two evils. I just can't. I can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then not only that, but our good friend, a good 49er friend, Mr. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He comes out and he says that he will be wearing number 8 to honor Kobe Bryant. He was already wearing 23, and now he's going to wear number 8. Can you believe this guy? And then what happens tonight?
A minute and a half to go in the third. Here's one caught by Mooney.
There he is, and he can't tackle anymore.
For the touchdown.
Come on. What kind of tackle was that? That was ridiculous.
Soft.
Let me see if I can get right when he slips off of him. Look at this. He's got... What are you doing? Oh. That's terrible, dude. That is terrible.
That's garbage.
Garbage. Guys, make sure you check out the NorCal Sports Report. I'll be live tomorrow at 11 a.m. It was on Wednesdays. Now we're moving it to Tuesdays. That way we're closer to Niner football. And I'll be live tomorrow doing all the NorCal sports updates, Cal, Stanford, any kind of Warriors or Giants news, and, of course, your San Francisco 49ers. So definitely check that out tomorrow at 11 a.m. right here on the DreArea Sports Channel and over on IE Sports Radio. So now we know that, look, the Eagles are slowly turning back into a fucking joke of a team, especially after today. That was a bad outing by the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't restore any faith into anybody. So I love seeing the Eagles lose. Love seeing the Cowboys lose. They got their asses kicked today or yesterday by the Saints. Big blowout. So yeah, the Niners lost. but at least some of the teams that we hate, I should say, some of the teams that we love to see lose, lost. So it made the loss a little softer. Except for the Seahawks, they won. I was like, God damn it, fucking Seahawks. Always fucking shit up. But let's go to our main event, which is Niners and Vikings. Here we go. Okay, so the Niners lost this game, as we know. Final score was 23-17. Now, this game had a lot of issues, and we're going to talk about that today. But overall, I know Brock got a lot of heat. He had the turnover, the interception.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he had 2 interceptions, or did one get called back?
Yeah, so that fumble he had was ruled a fumble, even though it kind of looked like the guy didn't even let it hit the ground, which in my mind kind of looked like an interception. But the actual rule was a fumble. So
yeah. And so Niner for Life says a weird fucking loss to a backup. Well, look.
It was. It's a good way to put it.
It's a good way to put it. And it's a shitty thing. But it is what it is. Sam Darnold was 17-26 for 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. He had a quarterback rating of 109.1. Rushing-wise, we expected a lot more out of Aaron Jones. He only had 9 rushes for 32 yards. Yeah. And he had that big fumble as well that obviously that was because of Fred Warner, who was an absolute fucking savage out there. Yeah. Ty Chandler, 10 rushes for 82 yards.
Yeah, the Niners got a heavy dose of him in the second half, and he was averaging 8.2 yards a carry. That's
gashing them.
Yeah, that's not typical.
And for the Niners, look, Brock Purdy, say what you want. He had the 2 turnovers that I thought the pick didn't have to happen, and the fumble was fucking ridiculous. I can't believe it slipped out of his hand.
A catastrophe.
Catastrophe. He's got to be better than that, though. He's got to be better than that. Brock Purdy was 28-36 for 319 yards. He threw for over 300 yards.
Yeah, no,
a touchdown, a pick, a fumble. He had a quarterback rating of 101.3. Jordan Mason, 20 rushes for 100 yards. We're going to talk a little bit about Jordan Mason and why I thought he got shafted in this game.
Yeah.
Garendo got 1 carry, 0 yards. And the rushing game just wasn't even there. Look at Debo. 2 rushes for -10.
Yeah, they keyed on him in the run.
They did. Now, looking down here, receiving-wise, he had 8 catches for 110 yards. He was balling out there as a receiver.
Yeah.
Kittle, 7 catches. That's huge.
Yeah, he had a solid game.
And a touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, 4 catches, 43 yards. I'm sorry. Brandon Ayuk, where the fuck are you? You signed a fucking $30 million a year contract, a 4-year, $120 million contract. He was almost non-existent. Yeah. I felt like Jalen Naylor's 3 catches were more noticeable than Brandon Ayuk's 4 catches.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, but look, you made a big fucking deal about getting your contract that you want to be paid as one of the top receivers in the league. But so far in 2 games, you've been anything but a top receiver in the league. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we've seen this from all the holdouts we've had in the past. The Debo holdout, the Nick Bosa holdout. It takes a whole training camp and off season to get acclimated to the game of football. And you need live reps during preseason. There's a whole cycle you have to go through in order to be effective in the first couple of games. We all know about the first few weeks of the NFL, and especially since the league ended up taking away that last preseason game.
Yeah,
these teams are going to start off, trying to still figure out what they're going to do best, how they're going to execute. A lot of vanilla play calling in the preseason, then you turn it on week 1. Teams are pretty much jockeying for positions at that point. It's the same thing year after year. So for these players that aren't getting those reps, it's showing in the first 2-3 weeks. It really is.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Brandon Ayuk is non-existent. He's not impacting the game. I mean, even Trent Williams, you can even argue, he had a great first week against the Jets. I mean, he allowed 4 pressures yesterday. He's out of shape. He's not his typical self. It's probably going to take another week or 2, a couple weeks of practice for him to get in game shape. And it's costing the team early. It really is.
It absolutely is. And he's got to figure it out now.
Yeah,
because
he has to.
he has to because of what we're going to talk about right now. Deebo Samuel has a strained calf, and Kyle Shanahan said that he will miss a couple of weeks.
Concerning.
That's very concerning that we don't have Deebo Samuel coming up against the Rams. Now, look, the Rams are decimated with injuries, so you could say, okay, well, we don't have Deebo, but we still have Ayuk. If Ayuk's going to do anything, you got to step it up this week against the Rams.
Yeah. And
the problem is they're going to be queuing in on him. I mean, they're going to double team him. So now you got to see. I think Kittle becomes a big target. Juwan Jennings needs to get more catches. He really needs to spread it out.
Yep. We're gonna need people to step up, and they're gonna have to step up this upcoming week. The Rams, like you said, are coming off of 2 back-to-back losses, an ugly loss in Arizona, mind you, and they're going to be looking to avoid an 0-3 start because the faster this season gets underway, those losses early stacking up, you're behind the 8 ball, especially in a tough NFC West. So
absolutely,
they're going to be coming out very hungry, and the Niners cannot sleep on these Rams. I know we like to go down there. We like to take over the stadium. We have their number. It's all hunky-dory, but that was a bad loss on Sunday, and they need to be coming up, licking their chops and licking their wounds and trying to course correct. So this is a big game. This is a huge division game already.
What it was, this game against the Vikings, it was a stupid loss.
It was
a loss that didn't have to happen. That didn't, here's the thing. So we lost, right? The Cowboys lost. The Eagles lost.
The Lions lost.
But our game, if you really watch the game, they should have won the game. When you look at the stats, you look at Brock Purdy throwing for over 300 yards. Yeah. He was 28 of 36 for 319 yards, a touchdown.
Yeah.
Mason, 100 yards. You think, they must have won that game.
Yeah, exactly, by the stat books, exactly.
What killed them was the 92-yard touchdown from Justin Jefferson. Yeah, so let's talk about this real quick. This is where I thought Kyle Shanahan, his balls just fucking fell off. I'm sorry. You have a 4th and goal, and you fucking choose to pass the ball as opposed to running the ball with J.P. Mason, who's the size of fucking Marshawn Lynch almost. You have this big bruising running back, and you choose not to run the ball. Not only that, but Shanahan opens the game with 3 straight passes, and then they end up punting it. Now, look, I get it. The Vikings had the number 8 ranked running defense in the league last year, and they were ranked like 26th in their passing defense. And that's all, that's all fine and good. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is that you just had a game where you ran the shit out of the ball, and you were very successful at it. And they immediately went away from it, which didn't make any sense.
Not at all. I'm going to give you 3 stats that explain this entire game. For third down conversion efficiency, 2 for 10.
2 for 10.
4th down efficiency, 1 for 3. And the last one, 2 turnovers. That's the game right there. That's the game.
And the defense, I'm sorry, the Niners defense kept bailing them out. Play after play after play. We're talking about a Fred Warner interception. Clutch.
Yeah.
A Fred Warner who punches the ball out.
Breathing life into the team. Yes.
He literally kept them in the game.
Yes, he did. Single-handedly.
It was unbelievable.
And even as good as they played for the defense, it was the 3rd down efficiency of the Vikings and the fact that the Niners couldn't get off on 3rd down. And it showed its most during that last drive. The Niners could not get off the field. And that, I want to say it was in the 4th quarter, in that 7-minute drive, Minnesota just ate up the clock. They could not get off the field. And the Niners needed at least 2 more chances with the ball to mount some type of comeback or to give themselves an actual legitimate shot at coming back, and that never transpired because The defense in the most critical times I felt couldn't get off the field as well as they played in times. They struggled in a crucial area, which ended up costing them too.
Absolutely. But to me, the starting out the game with 3 straight passes, bad idea.
Yeah.
That was a stupid idea because then it automatically exposed the offensive line to have to do pass protection. And we're talking about their defensive coordinator in Flores who likes to dial up exotic blitzes left and right.
All day.
And so you immediately put him in a situation where he was under duress when you should have been running the fucking ball.
Yeah.
I would have ran the ball first down, second down. I don't care if I only got 2 or 3 yards. I'm going to establish the running game. I'm not going to give that up.
Yeah.
I want them to think, dude, these guys are going to be run heavy. We got to stuff the box and then hit them, over the top.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how you give offensive pass blocking momentum. You run the ball, you get them moving, you get them in momentum, and then that in turn, I believe, improves the pass blocking. You got to have some momentum. These guys were on their heels, on their toes, getting pushed back a majority of the game. Yeah, Brian Flores called a great game, and I think the other half of this goes to coaching too. I truly believe that the Niners got out coached in this game.
Yeah,
it showed a lot.
They really did.
It showed a lot.
And the thing too is that like whenever Kyle Shanahan has to go against a team that has either a good head coach and a good defensive coordinator or a good offensive coordinator, he always seems to lose.
And a similar style offense. Whenever we go against these Kyle Shanahan branched offenses, it's trying to stop, almost trying to stop ourselves in a way. It's not the same players, obviously. It's executed a different way, and there's nuances with every coach. But I mean, it's the same scheme. I mean, Kevin or O'Connell comes from the West Coast, Sean McVay tree. So it's very similar in ways.
Oh yeah, but I still feel like the 4th and goal, you come out in shotgun. So already you're telling the defense we're gonna throw the ball. So here you got Van Ginkel who's like, oh, they're going to pass the ball. Well, I want to make sure that when I come rushing in, I'm going to get my hands up because it's obvious he's going to throw the ball. And what does he do? Got his hands up, deflected that pass. Probably would have been a touchdown to Juwan Jennings. But you sold it on the fact that you were in shotgun. So he already knew, Van Ginkel already knew, as soon as he drops back and I rush in, I'm getting my hands up. And, dude, the guy had a pick 6 last week. And he almost got one against the Niners.
Doing the same thing.
So you fucked up there when you could have just handed the ball off to JP Mason I would have got in a goal line front, have Juszczyk as your fullback, give the ball to Mason, and have him pound it right in. Fuck these guys. Instead, he tried to get cute and run and try to throw the ball. It actually, and I hate saying this, but it reminded me of the Seahawks against the Patriots. Like, dude, you got Marshawn Lynch right there. And instead he throws it, and that was even worse with the interception. But still, it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, very, very, very similar. It's just, it's mind-boggling, at times when Shanahan, it seems he kind of outthinks himself or just, again, gets a little too cute with his play calling, thinking that he's outsmarting the defense, and they're pretty much one step ahead of him at times, it seems like. This game just, for some reason, it just never seemed like he got in a rhythm. The offense was never consistently in a rhythm. It was spotty here and there. There was great plays here and there. There was bad plays. It just, the whole time, you just never felt that they were in a groove.
Exactly. It was ridiculous. And not only that, I know Steve was saying, well, running doesn't mean you're going to get a touchdown. But to me, you have a higher percentage of score if you're running the ball with JP Mason. The guy was averaging 5 yards a carry.
Yeah, and that tells you all you need to know, that if for some reason he decided, again, being too cute, why would you go away from that? It's successful. It's working. Your offensive linemen are blocking downfield. It's just, it gets you into a rhythm that you feed off of that. Once you get the run established, you get the play action going. And I felt like the play action just never was consistent in this game either. It was just very spotty, and you had Brock Purdy holding on to the ball a lot too on a couple of crucial plays that ended up, being somewhat the difference in the game.
And so that's why I think on that play I would have ran the ball. And no, instead, he does a passing play, which was ridiculous. I thought that was a bad call. And that cost him, because what happened next play? They turn the ball over.
Yeah.
And then they give up a 92-yard touchdown, which I'm sorry, Jair Brown had the wrong read, let him get over top, and then I'm sorry, but George Odom was fucking lost out there. Like,
the back end of the secondary definitely did not play well in this game. And I know Jair Brown, through some of the announcement and some of the breakdown of the film during the game, they were, pinpointing at him being out of position on a couple of plays, which ended up costing them. They were on some pretty crucial plays too. Obviously the 97-yarder to Justin Jefferson, and then the one when they were in the goal line and they looked confused and out of place, right?
Oh yeah.
And he
Mooney Ward, he was like, oh shit.
Yeah, him and Ward were not on the same page, and that ended up being a touchdown as well.
And Steve-O, I agree. Why not kick the field goal? Why not put points on the board? You're leaving points. You're leaving you're leaving points off the board.
He's got a hot foot too. He's
the guy was special teams player of the week, and you didn't even utilize him.
That's a good point.
There's 2 other 4th downs that he went for it because he figured, well, I'm on the 40, or 35. I mean, I'm just going to go for it, be more aggressive. But it was kind of like, dude, hold on a minute. You had the special teams player of the week, a guy who hit 6 fucking field goals in week 1, and you didn't even bring him out.
Seriously.
To even attempt one.
And what was it? How many attempts in the red zone with no points when you could have kicked 2 field gols? And we lost by what? 6 points?
6 points.
Where it's a tie game right there.
I couldn't believe it, dude. I could not believe it.
So that looms large now.
Yeah, and look, what does he say? Hold on. He goes, I'm petty. I'm sorry. Grant Cohen's do that to me. No, it's fine. You're all good, dude. I love having you here, man. You're all good. David writes, I know we're all upset right now, but as Rodgers once said, relax. They'll fix these mistakes and get back to Niner football. Now, look, I agree. I think this is only week 2. But still, there was a lot of mistakes in this game that I was kind of like, come on, guys. Like, you don't make these kind of mistakes when you're trying to win a Super Bowl. You don't make, these stupid, like, I'm going to go for it on 4th down 3 times. That's like Dan Campbell status in the NFC title game. I just think that you don't leave points on the board. You got a kicker who's hot. You're indoors. You don't got to worry about the wind or whatnot. They should have utilized Jake Moody a lot more, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And it was too bad because, I mean, look, like you said, we lost by 6. And then not even that, right? They drive the ball down there, and they're down by, like, what, 8 or 9? No, down by 9. They get the ball all the way in the red zone, and what does he do? On 3rd down, a screen pass to Deebo Samuel. That Van Ginkel jumps out because McKivitz can't seal the block because he sucks, and then he disrupts the whole play.
It was like the right side all game long.
And it's like, why would you even throw to the right side? I mean, I get it. Like, you have a right-handed quarterback. You really don't want him to throw across his body. You want him just to turn, go.
Naturally,
but McKivitz has not proven that he's any better than he was last year. In fact, I think that he looks worse than he does last year.
He definitely looked worse in this game. That's
So I don't know what they're going to do. I know him and Brendel are like the weakest links, but you got Feliciano eventually is going to come back. So maybe you have someone to, take over for Brendel if he continues to play this badly, but it's just not good. Too many mistakes.
Yeah.
While the defense was playing their ass off in this game.
Yeah. No, the defense obviously was looking to confuse this offensive line who, for the most part are still learning each other. We've added a couple new pieces and stuff, and it was just one of those games. And, give credit to Minnesota. They played a good game.
They
had the stadium behind them. We all know the stats from, the past or the recent history. Niners haven't won there since 92. 8 straight consecutive losses in Minnesota. I hate to say it, but ownage is ownage, and this is, I think, half of it. I really do. For some reason, the Niners just don't play well in domes, don't play well in closed stadiums. It's just
in domes.
It's just I don't know.
And Daniel, yeah, I mean, we talked about that. Like they could not stop them on third down. The biggest, it's like the last possession they had, the Vikings. You were asking your defense to make one more stop, and I think they almost did, but I mean at that point I feel like our defense was super gassed, and they just didn't have it left in them to stop them on that last drive.
Yeah, 7-minute drive, you're bound to get gassed if you're on the field for that long.
But like when you look at our defensive line, like Kevin Givens had 1 sack, Nick Bosa had 2 sacks, Fred Warner had a sack, Fred Warner had an interception, Fred Warner had a forced fumble. Isaac Yadam collected 2 fumbles.
Yeah.
Oh, that one that Jacob Cowing dropped, I was like, I almost fucking had a heart attack. I was like,
well, it was kind of like karma. It's like we probably should have lost that ball in the first place, and then I think it was 2 plays later when I think he either threw the pick or he lost the ball. Yeah, the fumble.
That was when Brock lost the ball and turned it over. That was a tough one. That was like, oh no.
Not even having a shot, because I feel like we were already marching into their territory. And no, that was early in the drive. Yeah.
Sam McCarr MVP. I know. It's early still. It's still early.
Oh damn. Yeah.
It's still early.
It's Vikings Super Bowl.
Guys, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. It's free to subscribe. If you're watching on the Nicotina Network, subscribe there. If you're watching on DreArea Sports, subscribe on there as well. If you're watching on X, make sure you follow my account on X, because every broadcast that we do, we're going to be live. Starting next week, I'll have the DreArea Sports X account be premium, so we'll be able to stream on that account, which is going to help us out. Check out Nicotina.net. That is the website for all 3 of my channels, and there's communities available for all 3 of those channels. Definitely check that out. Once you become a member of the DreArea Sports community, Dre is there, I'm there, my brother Daniel, CG Ruthless. When you guys go on there, Brian Snowman, download the Collab app for either Android or Apple. And then you can interact and post things on the community from your mobile device. It's a game changer, I'm telling you. Yeah, it's a lot better with the apps, and it's right there at your fingertips. So definitely check that out. Also, this stream is brought to you by PowerBrandSystems. Use promo code POWER to save up to $300 on your first purchase of PowerBrandSystems. Also, use the referral link in the description below. We're also brought to you by SeatGeek. That's the wrong one. What is that? There we go. We're also brought to you by SeatGeek. Use promo code DreArea Sports to save up to $20 on your first purchase over at SeatGeek.com.
Nice.
So definitely check that out. I'm loving SeatGeek, man. It's awesome.
It is. Good stuff, Andre.
Is this a regular co-host? Yeah. I mean, he's part of the channel. I mean, what the hell? What more do you want? Also, if you also want to support the channel, check out the Patreon. We have that down below in the description. You become a member on there, and I post the same things that I post over on the community on DreArea Sports. So definitely a good way to support the channel by becoming a member over on the Patreon as well. So definitely check that out. And then in the coming days, I'm going to have show merchandise that I'll have up there that you can buy from over on teespring.com. So check that out. So as we move past this game, because there was a lot of fuck-ups in this game, it's very aggravating, very irritating game. We move on now to the Niners against the Rams. Now, is this a home game or are we in L.A. in this game?
Same thing.
On the road?
Yeah, same thing.
I feel like we're always on the road in L.A.
No, it's in L.A.
For sure?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's in L.A.
It's in L.A.
Because the later Thursday night matchup is at home at Levi's.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, so now we move to the Rams and the Niners. Now,
get right game.
He says, just curious if another page, because I've only followed you for a few weeks. Just curious if another page. I don't know what you mean by that. Can you elaborate? But anyway, let's go to our next game, which is Niners Rams. Now, look, we got some breaking news that we're going to share with you guys, which is an update about the Niners Rams game. Let's go to that. Right. Where is it now? Cooper Kupp is out. He will not be playing in week 3 against the Niners. In fact, he is going to be a possible candidate for the IR. That's how bad it is right now. He's going to be out for an extended period of time as a candidate for the injury reserve, per Adam Schefter. The 49ers head to L.A. for a divisional matchup against the Rams. And then, not only that, but they have another injury. Safety John Johnson III suffers a hairline fracture in the scapula, out at least 4 to 6 weeks. Get well soon, JJ. So now, not only are they down their safety, but they're down their top receiver and Puka Nacua, and a litany of other injuries that are just decimating the Rams.
Especially in their O-line. Their O-line's decimated.
Yes, badly.
This is going to be a good, like I said, get-right game for the Niners, defensively and offensively. We need to put these guys to bed early. I'm looking for a big victory next week.
Oh, he says that's why I asked if he's a regular co-host or if he has a channel to follow. No, unfortunately, Dre does not have his own channel. He's right here on this channel. So, yeah, so if you want to follow Dre, follow him here on this channel or become a member of the community over on DreArea Sports on Nicotina.com. And that's another way you can interact with them as well. So they're down their safety. They're down Cooper Kupp. They're down Puka Nacua. They're decimated on their offensive line. They don't have very much in terms of linebackers. And it showed because last week they got the absolute shit kicked out of them against the Arizona Cardinals. They lost with a final score of 41-10. They got their asses whooped.
The game was over by halftime. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. had like 2 touchdowns in the first quarter alone. They were already behind the 8 ball. They couldn't get anything going. You lose Cooper Kupp. I mean, that's pretty much your offense with Puka around. I'm not too certain how their run game is this year. You know, they have Kyron Williams. Their depth's not too great. So the Niners need to take advantage. They play very well in LA. The crowd's going to be behind them. We travel really well.
Yes.
I mean, consistently beating the Rams during the regular season has been what we've known for the last 5-6 years. So this is an opportunity for the Niners to right the ship, get back on track, and then head back home for a matchup with New England. So this one they got to get. The Rams are at a super vulnerable point already early in the season.
Yeah. I mean, look at this. I mean, for James Conner, he had 21 rushes for 122 yards. He was averaging 5.8 a carry. Kyler Murray threw for 266 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks, 17-21. He was ahead 158 quarterback rating. Yeah. Stafford, 216 yards, 94% quarterback rating. He did what he could. But if they're giving up that many yards to the air and that many yards on the ground, the Niners need to jump all over these guys. Marvin Harrison Jr. had 4 catches for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. This was his first breakout game of the year.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp, 4 catches, 37 yards, and he's hurt. Mm-hmm. So when you look at who's left, I mean, you have Kieran Williams, you have Tutu Atwell, and Demarcus Robinson. I mean,
they're all going to have to step up. Yep.
It's not a star-studded offense right now.
No.
So look, what are we going to do in this game? I think that for prediction-wise, I think the Niners are going to go into this game knowing that they have to get a win. They have to get a win and rebound off their loss from the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think that the Rams are deep enough and have enough talent on the team right now to compete with the Niners. I think Niners win this game 31-13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would think that they can take advantage of this matchup, as decimated as the Rams are. Niners are going through their own, injury issues, but we still have a lot of firepower, even with Deebo Samuel and Christian out. The advantage needs to be utilizing JP Mason and pretty much pounding the rock and getting back to that first week where we did a lot of stuff off of the run. Play action, opens up the middle of the field. I mean, we can talk about this all day. That's the formula for success, and we need to see it next week if the Niners want to get back on track. So I'm looking for a substantial win next week. I think like I said, I think we're catching the Rams at a pretty vulnerable state already in the season, and I'm looking for a 35-17 victory.
35-17. I said 31-13. As we wrap things up, I'm going to leave you with this image because to me, this is telling of the game next week.
Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk, where are you?
This guy needs to show up if we're going to win next week. That's for sure.
They need a game plan to free him up.
Yeah, no, he's got to be a focal point next week. They're going to be trying to focus on stopping JP in the run game and making us, a pass happy team. Because they obviously saw when we tried to pass a lot, they were applying pressure on Brock Purdy. He did struggle at times, and I mean, this has to be a get right game. The Niners have to win this game. Any divisional game is a must win game, especially in the NFC West.
Real quick, we're talking about Brock Purdy and how he's got to play better. I mean, in reality, he actually played really well. Brock Purdy, through 2 weeks, he's passing for 550 yards. That's first in the league. Completion percentage over expectation is 10.5. That's second in the league. Average completed air yards, 8.4. So he's averaging 8.4 a pass. He's always been in
that 9 point threshold. He's a legit quarterback. The numbers prove it. I think he's finally putting, all the doubters, to bed.
The problem is that he had that second turnover, and that really fucking sucked.
All the turnovers are going to get any quarterback, but no, we got the right guy at the helm. He'll bounce back. He's going to be determined to bounce back. He's a leader. He's the captain of this team. He needs to improve off of last week.
Absolutely. And then we'll go to this as well. Passing leaders. He's leading the league in passing yards. Number 1, Brock Purdy. Second is Gardner Minshew, the Raiders quarterback. Stafford, Goff, Jackson, Geno. You know who I don't see on there?
Where's Mahomes?
Where's Mahomes?
Where's my homies?
Where's my homie? He's not there. It's because the refs are really like, oh, don't worry. We'll get you on there real soon, okay? Oh, okay. All right. We'll see how it turns out. So, guys, that's going to do it for the show. I'll be live again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time right here on the DreArea Sports Channel for the NorCal Sports Report. We'll be streaming that here and over on IE Sports Radio, your feed for all that is sports, and that'll be at 11 a.m. Definitely check that out and set your reminders as well. This stream is brought to you by PowerBrandSystems. Check out PowerBrandSystems if you're looking to get a website built for your small business, YouTube channel, or social media account. Use promo code 300 to save up to $300 on your first purchase of PowerBrandSystems. Also, check out SeatGeek. Use promo code DreArea Sports to save up to $20 on your first purchase over at SeatGeek.com. So definitely check that out.
Go catch a Giants game. Go catch a Niners game.
Support the team.
Let's go.
You want to go on the road to watch the game in LA? Use SeatGeek.
There you
and
go.
Use promo code DreArea Sports.
Travel. We travel.
Save $20 right there. That's $20 back in your pocket. That's 2 beers right there at the game.
Nice. It's a good way to look at it.
Purdy leads the league in passing, but content casual say otherwise. They're going to say what they're going to say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is what it is. I don't think there's enough to really say anything bad about Brock at this point. He still had a really good game, but I think that he's a young quarterback. It's his 3rd year in the league, and he's still kind of growing. Yeah,
absolutely.
But I think this game, the reason, like the game against the Vikings, this falls on Kyle Shanahan. I felt that he made too many questionable calls, and all those questionable calls all resulted in negative plays that did not help the team win.
No, you can argue he didn't put them in the best opportunities to win the game. Bottom line.
Dave writes, bang, bang, keep the faith, boys, always. Night, guys. Thank you for tuning
appreciate
in.
You guys tuning in. That was fun. As much as we needed to vent, I think it's good. We can move on to next week.
We can move on to next week.
Beat the Rams.
That's it, man. All right, guys. We will see you guys next time, and I'll see you all tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time right here for the NorCal Sports Report on IE Sports Radio, your home or your feed for all that is sports, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Tune in.
Peace.